Hi, I'm Dr. Richard Bartlett, founder of Matrix Energetics, and I have some exciting news for people that have heard of Matrix Energetics or have been following the seminars for some time. I've decided recently, after having practiced for 2 years in a practice on Skype, that I'm going to open a special type of group, what I'm calling group transpersonal transformation sessions in a webinar type of format. A number of years ago, in 2006, when I appeared on Coast to Coast with George Norrie, the day afterwards, we got over 250 calls in our office for people in desiring healing or help or just having an interest from hearing about Matrix Energetics on the radio. And at the time, I wish there was something we could do because now that I have for 2 years been doing private Skype sessions, which can be prohibitively expensive for some, I'm pretty confident that long distance type of practice after 20 years in an office does work very well. I've had very many successes with all types of conditions over the last 2 years, and now want to open this field, which has grown, the morphic field of Matrix Energetics, to a group transformation session. Now, the way I've envisioned this working is I'm going to conduct a webinar where someone desiring assistance, not in a specific manner, because if you want specific assistance, you would have to contact me for a personal or private session. But however, say there's 100 people on a call and say 30 of them have spinal problems, maybe 20 have some sort of challenge with their immune system, some sort of a chronic degenerative disease, maybe 13 have allergies, 22 have emotional problems, and whatever else shows up. And that could even include animals. What I've tested, and I've already done a test seminar like this, is that I could track the information and energy of everybody as a group. We've done this in the seminars where, say, we had 30 people in the seminar with TMJ problems, and they'd raise their hand, and then we'd focus on their pattern and then ask them afterwards how many people experienced an improvement. And surprisingly, a large number of people will find that their pain or their problem has disappeared. We've also seen this as a group mandala or group effect in the Matrix Energetics seminars where Melissa and I are on stage and we're interacting with people, and their pains, their problems, their even, may I say, diseases have disappeared magically, and we haven't even necessarily physically done anything with them. We haven't interacted with them with the stage. We weren't even aware in some cases that they were there. So I'm going to open this field up, and it's a brand new thing, and I believe that it'll take advantage of the group morphic field that we will complete together with everybody in the webinar session.
GTT Sessions example video.
The idea behind this will be like a group session where a number of people will be online, and they will let us know ahead of time what conditions they want to have worked on. And then what we will do is I will work on the group as an entity. So it's like if I were working with an individual, I would work with their patterns, both on paper, where I track kind of like a remote viewer, their patterns. So let's say we had 30 people with allergies, 20 people with low back pain, 10 people with a TMJ pattern, 6 people with some sort of immune compromise, 16 people with a degenerative disease. So those patterns would form the template for the group interaction that we would do in the course of this webinar. So what I would do is I would draw the chakra patterns, the energetic patterns that would represent the overall pattern of the group. And then it would look something like this. It would look something like this, and you would be able to then see me real time working with these patterns. Now, If I'm not looking at you, it doesn't mean I'm not focusing on you. Of course, I can't look at 100 people if they're all on a webinar with me, but if my face is down, I'm working with the pattern on paper. Now, through the principles of quantum entanglement, as I'm working with the pattern on the paper and drawing the pattern is changing. So the very purpose of that is to shift the pattern while I'm relating to it, and then that allows for the transformation of an individual and the group's patterns. We've done this in a seminar where, say we had 30 people with TMJ problems, jaw problems, and then we would do a group interaction and then ask them how many people experienced a change. And I guess not surprisingly now, but it was surprising initially, many people will experience an immediate change in their condition. Now, if you don't, that doesn't mean it didn't work for you, or if you don't notice a difference. Since we're working with information transfer, not, quote, healing with energy, it will work at a distance. It works without any diminishing of the force involved, because there is no force involved. And it's kind of like throwing pebbles into a pond where the ripples occur, and those ripples then continue after the interaction. So, if you don't feel anything while the session's going on, that doesn't, however, mean that nothing happened. And in fact, sometimes that is the most beneficial outcome, because if you're not tracking what you think is going on, and then change can occur even in things that you weren't aware of that you wanted to change. And I've seen this over and over in my personal practice. So, essentially, I'll be playing with dolls and maybe surrogates. I know, ladies, that this is a man. We'll make allowances for that. But when I work with a person or I work with a group, I will be able to feel the group energy. A long time ago, when I was in practice, first in practice, I was running a family practice, and so I'd have a discount for if dad and mom and the children were all coming together. So early in my practice, I had a couple that came in, and I worked on both of them, and then their little girl handed me her doll. And she said, "Would you work, Dr. Bartlett, on my dolly?" So I did. And I started using one of my adjusting instruments, which I will use in these webinars, on the pattern. Now, if you're watching this right now, you may get changes actually in your conditions, in your spine, in your body, because there is no time, there is no space, there is no separation or distance, and through quantum entanglement, just watching this video could produce very beneficial changes. So, if it does, I hope that's true for you. So anyway, I worked with this little girl's doll, and I did very specific things. At first I was just pretending, and then I started really working. And I realized that all the information that the little girl had that I could help was showing up on her doll. So since then, and I've done this for many years, I've learned that I can work on what's called a surrogate and project the treatment or the corrections at a distance. So that's what we'll be doing. We'll be playing with dolls and drawing on paper. And what we've seen with the drawing practice is we're actually tracking the pattern, and then as it changes, we'll be able to draw it and notice it changing. This is done through the right brain, or the paraconscious awareness, and that links up with universal consciousness, so that links up with the group. So I'm very excited about this. I hope if you're at all interested, you will sign up. Some people may even find benefit in doing this regularly.